welcome everyone to 284 News. My name is Javon Wilson.
I'm Kamal Haynes.
And I'm Ron Grant.
And we are so thrilled and happy to be coming to you live out of the beautiful British Virgin Islands. The content continues via our website, 284media.com. In today's news, Rosewood Little Dix Bay voted #1 resort in the Caribbean.
7th District resident receives a new home, compliments of the government of the Virgin Islands.
We also see CXC reporting a decline in candidates writing both the CAPE as well as CSEC examinations.
The BVI says UK should not pursue colonial path at UN, and the US feds make a massive cocaine bust. We have all the details of this and so much more after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 News.
You value traditions. You value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
A pleasant good evening, viewers. It is Friday, October 15, 2021, coming to you live out of the beautiful British Virgin Islands. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I'm Ron Grant. A happy Friday to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, looking at some very important headlines coming out of our weekly newscast. Government lands ownership policy for locals not as straightforward, and the 113K being spent to improve internet, data, and services. That is for the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force. In addition to that, a local firm awarded 550K Humpton's Gut Economic Zone contract. Of course, Jovan, that is a very popular project that has been garnering much attention from the not only the 5th District but the wider community. Persons seem to be quite pleased at the initiative.
Absolutely, and quite pleased that a local contractor has, of course, secured that contract. And I know Honorable Kai Reimer campaigned on this. He believes in business, and in particular for that 5th District. So I'm very happy to see this coming into fruition.
Beautiful. Beginning on the local scene here in the British Virgin Islands, 7th District resident Andrew Angus Penn received the keys to a newly built home as part of the Housing Recovery Assistance Program. The keys were presented by Minister for Health and Social Development, the Honorable Carvin Malone, 7th District Representative, and Minister for Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries and Agriculture, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, who is also the 7th District Representative, along with the Housing Recovery Assistance Program team, Deputy Secretary Mr. Greg Massicott, and Assistant Secretary Ms. Alyssa Brown, and representative from the contractor Macmillan Construction on October 14th. Now, Honorable Malone stated, and I quote, "I am extremely pleased that once again we were able to deliver as we have promised in this program of rebuilding homes and rebuilding lives after the storms of 2017. At the end of the day, it is gratifying, and we would like to say congratulations to all those who participated and all those who had a part in making sure that we came together. We cannot get things done alone." Now, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley stated that as a district advances and as the territory advances, partners are needed to be able to make such progress. Honorable Wheatley said, and I quote, "Team BVI, everyone achieves more together, and the Ministry of Health and the Minister of Health has been an excellent partner to District 7. I must make mention of his entire team, including Greg Massicott and Alyssa Brown, as well as everyone else on the health team who have been helping to facilitate the recovery of persons' homes after those devastating 2017 storms." Now, meanwhile, Mr. Andrew Angus Penn expressed his sincere gratitude to have moved into his new home. The Housing Recovery Assistance Program is designed to help homeowners rebuild in the wake of Hurricanes Irma and Maria in accordance with the provisions of the Virgin Islands Housing Recovery Policy and Hurricane Irma Recovery Plan. Jovan, this is quite beautiful news. We've seen this continuously within the past few months as well as years, where the government-owned has been able to contribute in helping many persons, many of them who are of a certain age, many of them who are living alone, help them to rebuild their homes. And this is not just in District 7. The most recent has been in District 7, but many of them have taken place across the territory of the Virgin Islands. And I think this speaks volumes to their contribution in helping, especially from the Ministry of Health's perspective. When you look at social development and the need to cater to that demographic that has suffered and continues to suffer, I think they should be commended.
Absolutely. And just recently as well, another Virgin Gorda woman receiving her very own home as well, after some 3.5 years. But Ron, I think it also speaks to another sobering fact, and that is the fact that we are still recovering from the atrocities of 2017, Hurricanes Irma and Maria. So many persons, and I think that's why it really brings about a high level of anxiety every time we approach the hurricane season, because again, so many persons are still stuck repairing homes. Some persons, their homes have been completely demolished, and so I know this really comes as a relief to not only the 7 district residents, but also the recent Virgin Gorda resident and so many others who have been able to benefit from the government's housing program, and we trust that is something that they can continue to extend territory-wide. Now, viewers, as we move on, some very positive news for the Virgin Islands. Voters have once again voted the BVI as the top destination for discerning travelers. Now, the result of the Condé Nast Travelers Reader's Choice list of top 40 Caribbean resorts revealed that Rosewood Little Dix Bay has been voted the number one resort in the Caribbean.
Amazing.
Readers also voted the Oil Knot Bay Resort, also in Virgin Gorda, number 39 on that list out of 40. Now, viewers, the director of the BVI Tourist Board, Mr. Clive McCoy, said, and I quote, "The British Virgin Islands is indeed very proud to be home to the Condé Nast Travelers Reader's Choice number 1 resort, Caribbean resort, and another top 40 pick. These 2 placements on this list is definitely something to celebrate," Mr. McCoy said. He went on to say that, this is a great catch for the Virgin Islands. Now, Little Dix Bay was founded in 1964 by the Lawrence Rockefeller and became a Rosewood branded property in 1993. A pioneer in sustainable luxury, Rosewood Little Dix Bay has maintained a stellar reputation among affluent travelers. Following a multi-million-dollar renovation, a reimagined resort emerged, holding true to Rockefeller's original vision of maintaining the delicate balance between luxury and environmental sustainability. The resort has introduced amazing new features and amenities, including 80 new guest rooms, suites with pools, a state-of-the-art fitness center, a spectacular spa, and butler service, believe it or not. Now, viewers, Mr. McCoy, the Director of Tourism, went on to say, and I quote, "I extend congratulations to the hardworking team at Rosewood who continue to provide excellent customer service to complement their amazing facilities and amenities. Kudos is also extended to the Oil Knot Bay team for joining the ranks of this prestigious list," end of quote. Now, viewers, comprised of several luxury villas spread over just about 300 acres on the northeastern tip of Virgin Gorda, the Oil Knot Bay Resort is the leading luxury multi-generational vacation home community in the Caribbean. The resort's facilities include a spa, a wellness studio, a children's club, restaurants, bars, marina, and a community garden and coffee shop. The Condé Nast Travelers Reader's Choice Awards are the results of an annual survey circulated by the publication to hundreds of thousands of readers. The readers are candidates in a variety of categories by criteria relevant to their grouping. Hotels and resorts are rated in areas such as rooms, service, food, design, location, activities, facilities, and value as well. Ron, of course, always a great accomplishment for the territory. And again, just testament to the fact that what we have here in the BVI is still beautiful. It's still unmatched despite the challenges of 2017, despite the parallel of COVID-19. The BVI continues to be recognized as a stalwart destination even in the midst of a pandemic, a safe destination. And I think, again, it really is testament to the fact that we have a beautiful, robust, and very resilient tourism product, and something that we certainly ought to be proud of.
Jovan, I could not agree with you more. This is not the first, this is not the second or third time the British Virgin Islands and its many resorts has been recognized, and we should continue to push forward in making sure that our product is second to none. We should absolutely be proud.
Absolutely. Now, we are still ahead of the break. The BVI says that the UK should not pursue colonial path at UN and also in the region. CXC reporting a decline in candidates writing both the CAPE as well as CSEC examinations. We have all the details for those and so much more right after this commercial break, so stick with us.
Viewers, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Continuing on the local scene here in the British Virgin Islands, Deputy Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley has told a meeting of the 4th Committee, Social, Political and Decolonization at the 76th United Nations General Assembly in New York that the United Kingdom should not go further down the path of colonialism in the Virgin Islands as the UK government prepares for the outcome of a UK-backed commission of inquiry on governance in the territory. He said, and I quote, "Despite the questionable motives behind the calling of the inquiry, along with the tremendous disruption of the operation of the public service, the locally elected government of 2 years and 7 months and the territory's hardworking public servants have fully cooperated as we have nothing to hide." That was the statement by the Deputy Premier. He also said in an official comment on October 6th that the tremendous administrative burden of meeting unreasonable deadlines has taken away precious time and attention from hurricane preparedness and COVID-19 response, including responding to recent outbreaks. We have also noted, he said, that the Commission has shifted its focus from a supposed corruption to now the ability of the local government to govern the islands. In addition, Honorable Wheatley explained, and I quote, that the proceedings are being conducted like a public trial in which the local government has no right to rebuttal or the ability to cross-examine witnesses. Locally, this has raised very deep suspicions about what the intent of the inquiry is and whether the goals of it is to lay the groundwork for the local government to be stripped of its powers and in areas, of course, such as immigration, lands, and other things. Regarding the UK's intention for supporting the inquiry, he said, "We are also very worried that the former ministerial leadership of the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office possibly intended to use the Commission of Inquiry to find a pretext to impose direct colonial rule through the suspension of the Constitution, as was done in the specific circumstances, as well as the Turks and Caicos Islands in 2009. He said, "We also are very concerned about the United Kingdom's potential seeking to roll back the autonomy of the British Virgin Islands by taking over the finances of the local government, which are stable, and other measures." However, the Deputy Premier said he believed there is an opportunity for the UK to change course. He said the recent ministerial and civil servant legal changes at the UK Foreign Ministerial present an opportunity for the United Kingdom and the British Virgin Islands to reset our relationship through a new modern partnership that departs from the colonial past. United Kingdom support for the local government's COVID-19 response demonstrates that such a modern partnership is possible. He said, "We genuinely hope this is the path the UK will choose, and we stand ready to work together as partners." Now, the fourth committee remains in session at the United Nations headquarters in New York until November 11th and will vote on the resolution of the British Virgin Islands that supports upholding self-governance and the right to self-determination in the territory. The Deputy Premier was joined by Special Envoy of the Premier, Mr. Benito Wheatley. Jovan, this is not the first time we've heard government ministers speaking on the relationship between the UK and, of course, the most recent Commission of Inquiry in regards to the motive of the UK. Once again, I will say this unequivocally. It is a threat in many regards to the British Virgin Islands, and history would explain that based on the methods used and the examples we've seen across the region, the Commission of Inquiry is definitely one that we should be concerned of as it pertains to a territory. I do employ our government officials, though, to again not tell someone how to instruct, how to conduct a commission of inquiry. I think on a holistic level, what we should be aiming as a government and as a country is to really make sure that we're providing the best methods of information, strategic information that would continue to make sure that we're following protocols and processes. And at this point, to be quite frank, what the commission of inquiry might bring forth in regards to our policies, our practices, some things that may need improving, I do not think this is the time to try to fix it in the middle of a commission of inquiry. I think it is important that we learn from this experience, both as a country, residents, and government officials, civil servants. We should all be able to look back and say, this is how we improve, but not try to tell them how to conduct their commission of inquiry, whether we like it or not, whether we think it's fair. And I do agree that in many cases it is not the tone that the UK should be taken, but nevertheless, this is where it's going.
Yes, and very strong comments from the government indeed. We've heard this reiterated from several ministers within government. I think most recently the Premier of the Virgin Islands coined it perfectly. And Ron, like you said, and as we examine the trajectory of previous COIs in the region, no country can get into a COI with specific terms and conditions and come out of it unblemished. And we really need to think about our reputation and really how it's going to affect us in the long term. And I think former governments or past governments in other countries within the region have been warning us about this. The Premier has always made reference to the terms and condition, which he believes are way too wide and far-reaching based on the initial objectives of the COI. But since then, we've heard things like, we've heard that it's taken away from the public services ability to manage and handle the COVID-19 pandemic.
Which is absolutely ridiculous, by the way.
Strong comments, but the Premier has said that, and the Attorney General just recently coming forward saying even within the situation with the Minister of Immigration, Labor and Natural Resources, Honorable Vincent Whitley, that it's a violation of protocols that he was cross-examined in that way when he was not made privy to the fact that that would have been discussed. So what we've heard a lot from the ministers is the process doesn't allow for a fair cross-examination, and when they say that, they mean for them to have a chance to truly respond to these allegations in a way that allows them to be prepared. So in that instance, yes, when you look at the way things are being done, a lot of questions, legitimate questions arise. But I think one thing's for sure within this COI is really revealing to us as a territory a lot of the loopholes, a lot of the discrepancies that we have seen in government, and this is not just a now thing. This is through successive governments. And above all else, I think the people are comfortable with this COI because it's really calling for more effective governance in this territory. And I think that is something we need to all agree on.
Jovan, I must add, not only the people comfortable with the COI, the government, many legislators that have sat before called for the COI. And I think we really have to look holistically at what we ask for, because now the tables are turned, and essentially we're being questioned, our policies are being questioned, our civil servants are being called and questioned about the way things are done. But we can't necessarily ask for a commission of inquiry. We can't necessarily ask for persons to look at our procedures when the tables are turned, and now that the tables perhaps are on the other foot, we feel like we have a problem with it. I do think that while the demand is there for public servants to come up with information and to look at procedures and policies that they may not have ordinarily done, I do think that it's important that we holistically look at our response as a territory, we look at our tone as government officials, and we look at the overall image that we're presenting. CARICOM has voiced their concerns many times as it pertains to the COI, and I think we have to look holistically across the region and pull from the advice of many of the persons.
Absolutely, and also the COI is also resting against a backbone, a fragile backbone, fragile relationship as we examine the BVI's relationship with the UK regarding colonialism. So there's so many moving parts to the COI that we have to take into consideration. And it has been a fragile relationship, and we have to admit that. So we're just trusting that the absolute best can come out of this situation. Now, viewers, as we move on, some news in the region. For a second year, a number of candidates that registered to participate in most of the Caribbean Examination Council's suite of exams has fallen. Now, Dr. Nicole Manning, the Director of Operations, Examinations Services Division, reveal the statistics at the official release of results for the June-July 2021 Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE, as well as the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC, in Guyana earlier yesterday. She said just about 27,750 candidates registered to write the CAPE exams in 2021 compared to 30,398 in 2020. Manning said that this was the lowest number of CAPE candidates in 4 years. Absentees also increased to 8.83%. About 1,251 students applied to sit the exam for another time, and for CSEC, we had just about 103,445 students writing the exam in 2021 compared to 122,248 in 2021. About 11.23% of candidates did not show up for one or more of their exams. Now, viewers, CXC also received 15,179 requests from CSEC candidates to take the exam in 2022. Mrs. Manning also revealed that 4,179 students chose to sit the exam in January 2022, and 7,720 will sit in June. Over 3,200 students have not selected a time. Now, candidates writing the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, that is CCSLC, increased to 9,043 in 2021 from 5,852 in 2020, but the number of subjects taken by the collaborative dropped to 10,811. Absentees decreased from a high 70.3% in 2020 to 19.8% in 2021, and Manning noted that staging the exams were challenging since candidates battled several issues, including being locked out of their countries. But CXC was able to accommodate some of the students. Manning said, and I quote, "We are trying as best as possible to increase electronic testing," she remarked as she spoke about CXC's 4-year strategic plan to modernize education in the Caribbean. Ministry officials and chief invigilators have been trained on how to manage electronic testing as well. About 27% of CAPE and just about 84% of CSEC candidates used some type of electronic testing this year. Internet access, power outages, and issues were the secure were the secure browser among the other challenges encountered, but Manning noted, and I quote, "No candidate would have been affected negatively," end of quote. Ron, I think as we examine the happenings over the last 2 years as a result of this COVID-19 pandemic, I think it was expected that we would see these negative effects, especially in the way that education particularly was affected, not just here in the BVI, but across the region and across the world. Many of our students have been left at a grave disadvantage, and particularly our students in the BVI who really have not gotten back to a space where they were fully comfortable coming out to the hurricanes of 2017. But we're trusting that, 2022 will be a year where we can see some more positive results. And, one thing's for sure with our students, they're resilient, they're absolutely smart, and we know that they will come through this successfully.
Well, Jovan, I must add, though, that in addition to trusting and hoping, I do think that it is paramount that we continue to hold our elected officials at some level of accountability, because what we realize and we continue to see is time continues to pass and progress, and we continue to wish and hope for the best, but still our students are not in the best of situations.
Yes. All right, viewers, still ahead of the break, there is a new card machine at the East End Library. We want to get into the details of that when 284 News returns.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News as we pan across just over to the USVI. Federal agents led by the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, on Thursday conducted an operation in the Havenside shopping mall in the vicinity of the Tap and Still restaurant, resulting in the arrest of multiple individuals and confiscation of multiple bricks of cocaine, according to a person with intimate knowledge of the operation. The operation was conducted during the afternoon time, leading to more than 5 arrests, according to that person. A large quantity of cocaine, viewers, was confiscated, estimated to worth millions of dollars in street value. The operation occurred in broad daylight, with individuals in the area and vehicles passing by. Now, viewers, this is according to the VI Consortium, who was unable to gather further information on the individuals arrested. However, U.S. Attorney Gretchen Shapert told the Consortium that she could not comment on the matter. Now, the latest operation comes on the heels of years-long sentences handed down to 2 VI Police Department officers for their main roles in a massive cocaine operation. Police officers Tashawn Adams and Mr. Shakim Mike were sentenced to 14 and 12.5 years in prison, respectively. The U.S. Attorney's Office is expected to issue a release on the drug bust at some point, though they were not clear at the time of this publishing. Now, according to the person who provided the information to VI Consortium, over a dozen bricks of cocaine were confiscated as part of the Thursday afternoon operation. It was unclear as to whether weapons were found as part of the federal action. Ron, clearly the war on drugs and crime continue, and I think it's important for us to highlight these kind of stories, because I think it brings to the forefront the fact that it's not just happening here in the BVI. You know, we hear about police corruption and involvement in certain cases, and we've had similar stories here unveiled in the territory. But you know, the war against drugs and crime in general is, I think, a global fight, and so we continue to wish our law enforcement officers, not just in the BVI but across the region, the very best, because this is a tough issue to tackle.
Well said, Jovan. Viewers, that is all the time we have. Of course, we have lots more of content, both on our website, 284media.com, our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. We encourage you to keep up to date with local, regional, and international happenings. It is always a pleasure. It's been a long and busy week, but it is always a pleasure for us to come to you live and direct. Do have a happy Friday. I'm Ron Grant.
And my name is Javon Wilson. Again, checking with our content over the weekend. It is a holiday weekend. So, of course, if you're getting out there, be safe, enjoy, and come back and join us on Tuesday, where we will be delivering another dose of 284 news, local, regional, as well as international content. Until then, have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.